like a very complex algorithm is that after a while you have so many like components here and there, and it's going to be very difficult to kind of know where different things are. And it's good to get into the habit of grouping your components together and actually helping you to adjusting your canvas. So one of the tools that is very helpful is grouping. So for grouping, for example, let's assume that these part of the function is something that I want to put them in one group. I'm going to go over and I'm going to over here, and then I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to put them in a group. Now everything in this part become a group. I can put the name on it, so I can just say that I don't know, this setting domain, and then even I can adjust the color, so I can color code different things on my canvas as well. So that's a very helpful tool to have. Then let's assume that there are some part of the function that I might use later on, meaning that I develop like a workflow that is repetitive, and I either on this specific assignment, on this work, or on the different works, I want to get back to them and use them. So grouping is becoming too much of a hassle to just move around and work with them. So I'm just assuming that this specific part can by itself is a process that I kind of do it over and over, and I don't want to see it right away. It's not something parametric. It's just want to keep it there, and if something changes, I can go back and adjust it later on. So this time, instead of making it as a group, and I do it only for like 4 or 5 components here, it could be like a big, like a cluster of components together, and I can right click on them, and this time instead of using a group, I'm going to create a cluster. So as you see, when I create a cluster, everything in that is just turned into one, one component that I myself develop with like inputs and output. It's good to have the habit of like right-clicking on all the inputs and change the name, so then you know what is going to be the input versus like the whatever that is there, and the output will be the same. And then even for the cluster, you can change the cluster name. So instead of being a cluster, you know exactly what this cluster does. And then let's assume that during the work, something changed and I want to get back and then adjust it. I can double click on it and then open that. And then here I can adjust the like a piece, adding more component to the whole process. And if I want to add more input or output, I can use the here the inputs. You see that there should be an input here on this part or on the parameters. Oh no, here we go. On this side. Here is the input cluster input and then cluster output. I can type it as well. So assume that I create more like things that go into the cluster, and there are more like a data outcome, and I can add it here. So I just add this, and then I connect, let's say, this part of the formula here. And when I'm done, I'm just double click here and then save and close, and I'm back to the main menu with another like a sets of like an outcome output out of it as well.